live on my mobile device. It didn't want me to go live horizontally. So yeah. Okay, guys, hi. Welcome back to Alaska for those of you who are on my TikTok show. Good to see you. Good to see you. How are you guys? Who knows? Hey, hi guys. How are you? How are you? Oh, you know what? Did I come up an hour later than you guys thought I was going to? I have no idea. I said 9 o'clock Eastern. 9 o'clock Eastern time. Yeah, so sorry guys. How are you? For those of you who are here, good to see you. I'm Walter, your independent travel agent. The time is always supposed to be 9 o'clock Eastern, but you know, with the way the clocks are and the way everything is so screwy, sorry about that for those of you who may have tuned in way too early, but you're looking at Sitka, well, the area around Sitka, Alaska behind me. I have no idea how the signal is, but there, look at that. Look how beautiful it is here right now. I'm standing on the back of the Oceania Riviera, and the Norwegian Joy just pulled out. She is huge. It's such a big ship. Oh my gosh. So how's everybody doing? How's everybody doing? Whoops. Let me get that down there so I can see you in there. Hi guys. How in such a way that I can read it. Hey guys, how are you? I'm Walter, your independent travel agent. I'm on the Oceania Riviera. We're on today was day 7? Day 8? Day 7. Day 7 of 12. I can't even keep up. So we just did day 7 of 12. We were in Sitka today. We did a food festival. Oh my goodness. Hey Eric, how are you? So sorry. You know, it was supposed to be 9 o'clock Eastern time. I don't know what actually came up on everything when I set the thing. I don't know. My phone is so screwy right now. It doesn't know what time it is. So so sorry about that. Hey, Chatham, Ontario. Hi, Cynthia. How are you? Thanks so much for joining in. Hey, Annette, how are you? Yes, we are having a fantastic time. Like I was saying, this was day 7 of this was day 7 of the trip, and so we got 5 more to go, and we got Wrangell, we got Klawak, and we got Victoria. So we got 3 more stops to go, maybe 4 more stops. Maybe I'm forgetting one. I don't know. I can't even keep track. We got so many stops. But today, believe it or not, we did a food tour. Yeah, and by the way, if you missed it, I just said the Norwegian Joy. There she is. She's just leaving now. Now, personally, I think that ship is way too big to be doing Alaska. That's over 4,000 people on that ship. We have 1,200 on this particular ship. I think that's a better way to do Alaska. Let me see. Let me give you a little nicer view. Yeah, look at that. Look how pretty the sunset is right now out here. Actually, it's not even sunset. We're going to go till about 9 o'clock before we even hit sunset. So we got a ways to go. Have I eaten a salmon donut? No, I did not do the salmon donut. Where was that? Anyway, I remember you guys were talking about a salmon donut, and I can't remember where you all said I was supposed to eat that. But today, I did do a duck fart today, though. I had my first duck fart ever in Alaska, and that was at, what was it, Eddie's Old Saloon, something like that, here in Sitka. So, believe it or not, we did a food tour today, and it was absolutely fantastic. I don't even know what, we ate about a dozen different things. One of the cool things that she did was at one point in the tour, we went to a glass studio, like a glass blowing studio, and she brought in a whole bunch of street food. I think we tried like 8 different street food from the various food trucks that are around Sitka. That was fantastic. So instead of us walking from truck to truck to truck, she brought everything into the one location, and that was amazing. There is a lot of really good food here in Sitka. We ended up buying some salt. Yeah, salt. There's a guy here that makes salt with all kinds of infusions, you know, blueberry and rosemary and spice and this and that. You wouldn't think the salt would be that big, but this is that flake salt that you put on right at the end. I bought some alder smoked salt. Holy crap, I can't wait to get home and make some steaks and some chicken and put some of that salt on right at the end. Oh my God, I'm so excited for that. And then we bought some salted caramel, and we almost bought some honey, but the prices were a little high. So that's what we're doing now. Oh yeah, jellyfish donuts and Ketchikan. No, I missed them then. That's where the salmon donuts were. Ketchikan was the worst weather. We started off, and it was actually great too, because we started off with the worst weather. It's gotten better since. Look how beautiful it is right now. So the weather has gotten progressively better as the week has gone on. When we first looked at the forecast, it looked like it was going to be raining like literally the entire time we were in Alaska, but it rained the first couple of days. So, but now the weather has broken up. I mean, we had the most beautiful weather in, I was going to say Glacier Bay, but it's Hubbard Glacier. And I shot a lot of footage of that as we went in. So one of the things I've been doing while we're up here, you know, I've got over 40 hours of those long views from the ship. I've been shooting a bunch of it because we've been going through the inside pass. So it's like stuff that's completely different. Islands that are coming right up to us. Absolutely beautiful. Absolutely. As you know, for those of you who have been to Alaska, I mean, it's just everywhere you look, it is absolutely freaking stunning. So, hey, Jen, how are you? Good to see you. I'm already starting to consider a Alaska group maybe for 2027. I'm starting to think I want to come back like every 2 to 4 years because I just forgot how beautiful it was. It's been a while since we've been up here. Oh, here, maybe I'll take that off so you can see my face a little bit better. There we go. Now I got hat hair. Yeah, got hat hair. There we go. Let's see. So anyway, so we're starting to think about a group, maybe 2027, maybe 2028, come back up here. One of the things I'm actually looking at is Explorer Journeys, because Explorer Journeys is going to be up here. The other option might be a Princess, maybe do a Princess Land Sea Tour. SL, how are you, man? All the way from Scotland. Hello from Alaska. Oh my goodness, that is a long ways. Yeah, so we're you know, I'm starting to think that we need to come up to Alaska a little bit more often. We've got a great group of 36 folks here on board with us. It's been an amazing group cruise, getting to hang out with everybody, see everybody, and they're all like, so what's the next group going to be? What's the next group going to be? And I'll remind you guys that we've got three really big ones booking right now. 3, yeah. This coming October, we've got a really cool Canada-New England cruise that's going to come down the East Coast. That includes Charleston and ends up in Miami. So Quebec and ends up in Miami. That's Brilliant Lady, the brand new Virgin Voyages Brilliant Lady. In February, we're going on the Emerald Princess and we're doing round trip Hawaii from LA. That's going to be a 16-day cruise. And then in October of 2026, October into November, we're doing a 10-day group cruise around Italy. And if you've got the time, there's the back-to-back is a 15-day transatlantic that's going to come all the way to San Juan. So that's 25 days on the ship. That's what Rebecca and I are going to do. If you want any more information about any of those, you can ask, or you can go to my website, where'swaltertravel.com, and click on group travel. All of the group trips are in there, including some fabulous trips with Tony and Jenny B from La Lita Loca. So look forward to seeing you as well, Jennifer. Ooh, Explorer Journeys to Alaska. You definitely do that. And the cool thing is, hey, Betty, hi, how are you? The cool thing, Mimi, is that Explorer Journeys is going to add a land component. They don't know, nothing to announce yet. The cruises are on sale right now. So we're kind of looking at, what are their itineraries back to Haines and Sitka. These are great little towns. What I really liked about these two towns, excuse me, I'm getting a little bit sick. I think it's because of all that rain at the beginning of the cruise, and it was so cold. I like that it's a little bit more of an Alaska experience. It's like Haines, especially. Haines is not touristy at all. That's just a sleepy little Alaska town. Sitka, a little bit touristy, but not so much. I'm liking, Skagway, Ketchikan, Juneau. They've just become so overdeveloped with tourism that it's kind of nice to go off and hit some of these other places. Strait Point was cool. I really want to go back to Icy Strait Point and hit that zip line again. Yeah, and I'm looking forward, like Wrangell tomorrow. It's going to be brand new for us. Klawak, that is a new port, so that's going to be brand new. So we're hitting 4 new ports that we've never been to on this particular cruise, and that's phenomenal. Everybody on board, our entire group, has really been having a great time. One thing that we have noticed, and a couple others have noticed, is that the food is really, really good on this cruise, but not quite to Oceania standards, like in the buffet and the main dining room. The specialty dining, absolutely fabulous. In fact, we're doing Jacques tonight, 8 o'clock local time. So right now, local time, it's 5 p.m. So Eric, you were saying that I said 5 p.m. Apparently it meant whatever time zone I'm in right now here in Alaska, because it is 5 p.m. local time right now, or 5:10, I should say. So in another couple of hours, we're going to be going to Jacques, which is Jacques Pepin's restaurant on here. It's going to be our very first time going to Jacques. Very, very excited about that. But by the way, if you guys got any questions and things like that about Alaska, about Oceania, feel free to drop them in. It is just absolutely beautiful day here today. As you can tell, now I've got my jacket off. It was really windy before. It was chilly. Pretty much temperatures have been in the mid 50s the whole time. It has been glorious because I came from 90 plus in Orlando, so it has been absolutely fabulous being here. I mean, I've got my long sleeve on, I've got my winter coat right here, so it has been really nice actually having to put that stuff on and not be dying, sweating to death and all of that good stuff. So that's pretty much what we've had going on here. So if y'all got any questions about anything, feel free to let me know. Hi, how are you?
Good, sir.
Good. Yeah, it's nice and quiet. So by the way, I'm out here on the cafe area, which is the outdoor. This is the outdoor seating area for the buffet, terrace buffet. It is absolutely gorgeous out here. They couldn't open it for like the first half of the cruise because it was just so wet. It was windy. It was cold. But the last couple of days, especially yesterday, oh my gosh, we had the sun. We had the sun back here. It was so beautiful back here. Oh my God, people were enjoying. It was so nice to eat al fresco back here. They do a heck of a job. Out here setting all this up and tearing it down, and oh my God, it's just so beautiful sitting out here. People were even enjoying the pool yesterday. Now the pool I don't think is heated, but the hot tubs certainly are, so people are kind of like bouncing back and forth between the hot tub and the pool, and absolutely beautiful out there. So the weather is real. I mean, it took a sharp change for the better as of Hubbard Glacier. Hubbard Glacier was just, it was spectacular. It was right there. I've got so many photos that I need to go through in Photoshop when I get back home. I shot all this camera raw stuff. I still haven't done the video, just the whole rig that I'm using here, but I've got this fabulous, I should have brought it with me, this 100 to 400 millimeter lens that I've been using to take pictures with here. And man, that thing has come in so handy because, when you see the wildlife and you see things on shore, like it is a distance away. Even if you're doing whale watching, unless you get really lucky and the whale comes up right next to the boat, which doesn't happen all that often, having that extra zoom lens is really handy to take pictures. I just had a float plane take off literally right next to the ship, right next to my balcony, so I got some nice shots of that. But yeah, it's been a heck of a cruise. This is the first cruise in a while that I've actually had a chance to enjoy. I mean, I am getting a lot of questions. I'm taking care of my clients and all of that, but I've actually had, I think it's because of that big time difference that I've actually had a chance to enjoy this cruise more so. Plus, I have 36 guests on here, so I'm making sure that I make time for them, and in making time for them, making time for myself. So it's actually been kind of nice. So it's almost a vacation. It's always a working trip, when you're a travel agent, but it's almost a vacation. Okay, well, the signal says we're back. Hopefully we're back. I don't know. Hopefully we're back. So I was starting to say, if y'all have any questions about Alaska or about Oceania or about any of the cruise lines up here. So the one that we still booked predominantly is Princess. Princess is still the number by far. We book more Princess in Alaska than anything else. They do it really well. I prefer the small ships. I much prefer the small ships over the big ships like the Norwegian Joy. She's sailing out right now. If you didn't see her, there she is. She's way over there. That's over 4,000 passengers way back there. That's just too big. It's just too big for Alaska. I don't know why they bring ships that big up here. They really should be smaller ships. SL, what has been the highlight of your trip so far? Zipline looked amazing. Glad you're having some vacation time. Well, that zipline is up there. That zipline is up there at the top. I got to say, that was that was spectacular. Having the sun come out for Hubbard Glacier, which none of us expected. We thought it was going to be raining. It was absolutely freaking spectacular. And just to be there, to be standing out on the bow. It took a while for Rebecca to come out, but when Rebecca finally came out, it was just so nice to have that moment, you know, with her. That is honestly really the best part, is just spending time with Rebecca, just having time where we can relax and have some fun and enjoy each other and enjoy the company of our guests that we have on board. We have a absolutely lovely group of people on here. But that zip line, man, in terms of like doing things, you know, the zip line is just absolutely unbelievable. Have we seen much wildlife? Well, we did a whale watching tour, and I think we saw 5 or 6 whales. Rebecca saw something truly unique yesterday. We were in Haines, and she did some sort of a trip over to the Eagle Preserve, something like that. And there was a moose in the water who was diving underwater for lily pads, apparently. I didn't know that moose dive underwater. And she's like, yeah, he would like dive, be down for a while, and then come up with lily pads in his mouth. I'm like, I had no way. I know moose swim, but I didn't know that they dove underwater. So that's pretty cool. That's pretty crazy. So we've seen, and of course, we've seen a ton of eagles go by. There were some people saw some otters, and we've seen some sea lions and things like that. So we're seeing our fair share, and you know, just the landscape has just been spectacular, absolutely spectacular. So, how close was the ship able to get to the glacier? I would say about a half a mile, maybe a half a mile. Now, it's different than Glacier Bay. Glacier Bay, the ships can get like I would say within a couple hundred feet of the glacier in Glacier Bay. That's a completely different situation. With the Hubbard Glacier, there was a lot of flow coming off. There were 3 ships that lined up. Region 7 Seas was first, and we came in second, and then Seabourn had a ship that was going to go in behind us. So, and I'm sure all the captains were talking to each other, but the captain did a great job. I was actually shocked at how close we got. I didn't think we were going to get as close as we did, but that was really cool. He did a really nice job. I was actually rolling my small camera. I've got my DJI Action 5 on here, my GoPro replacement, and I rolled the whole thing. It's like a 4-hour video of us coming into Glacier Bay and doing all of that. Now, I think the ship turned the wrong way, so I think the glacier was blocked for most of it, but that's all right. I got us coming in, and I got us going back out and all of that. So I've got some really cool videos. You know, those long roll videos. I've got us going through the Inside Passage and things like that. So in fact, tonight I'm going to set the camera up because this is going to be a beautiful sail away from here, going back out. So yeah. How many people have been in port with you? Well, that all depends. You know, like yesterday in Haines, we were the only ship. We only have, I think we have just over 1,000. I don't know if we have 1,100. The ship holds 1,200. I don't know if we have 1,100 on the ship. It's not quite full. But in Juneau, we actually had to tender because there were 4 other ships in there. So that was pretty crowded, including the Norwegian Joy that just left. And in Ketchikan, we were in Ward Cove. So it was us and the Norwegian Joy. Like, we've been pretty much following the Norwegian Joy all along. And then actually in Ketchikan, I think there were 2 or 3 ships there. So there have been places where there have been a few extra ships in there, but honestly, it hasn't been like overcrowded or anything like that so far. And you know, we are going to some different ports. Like I said, Haines, we were all by ourselves. Sitka, it's only 2 ships here. That's all they can take. We're going to Wrangell. That's another small port, and then we're going to go to Klawak, another small port. Icy Strait Point had 3 ships in, and the thing that felt the most crowded was actually when we came back here to the cruise terminal, and we just took a quick peek into the one just mobbed with Norwegian folks because they had like, you know, another 20 minutes to get to the ship. And I was like, oh yeah, this reminds me, this is why I don't want to come up here on a big ship. It's just too many people, it's too chaotic. It's the biggest thing that every one of my clients has said, especially those that have never been on a small ship. They're like, it is so calm on this ship. There's no chaos. There's no, you know, you don't have these massive lines in the buffet. You don't have people fighting to get into every single venue. You can show up for the show like 2 minutes before the show starts, and there's seating in the theater. But that's the biggest takeaway for all my clients so far on this particular cruise has been just the calmness and just how laid back and easy everything is. There's no fighting. You do have to make reservations for the specialty dining, but other than that, you just kind of come as you are. Just kind of do what you want. There's going to be seating wherever you want to go. There's going to be seating out there. There's plenty of seats by the pool. But even in the Caribbean, there's always plenty of seats out by. Well, clearly the signal is going to be up and down. So thanks for sticking with me. You're just gonna have to bear with it. I've got both cellular and Wi-Fi. So hopefully we can stay up. Hey, Greg, how are you? SL, wondering what passenger capacity of ship you think is ideal for Alaska. So I think 2,000 or smaller. I think 2,000 is about as big as you want to get. Ideally, I think the Sapphire Princess, which is one of the ships that we do send a lot of people on, she's around 2,500, maybe 2,600, but she is a small ship. The ship that I really love sending people out on is Coral Princess, Island Princess. Those are very, very small ships. We have sent people out on the Royal class ships as well. We have sent people out on, like Quantum class on Royal Caribbean. I think we have one or two that are booked on the Joy just because that's the ship that they wanted. They're bringing the kids with them. They want to make sure that the kids have all these things to do on the ship. Because even though Alaska is port intensive, you might go off and do one excursion, excuse me, and then you're back onto the ship. So I booked the big ships for the people who really want them and who request them. Otherwise, I prefer to put you on a smaller ship. And this ship is only 1,200 people. This is a wonderful size ship. Explorer Journeys is like 900, just over 900. So again, another nice size ship. Azamara, 700 passengers. Oceania also has 700 passengers. So I think 2,000 and smaller is ideal. We do go larger with a few of the Princess ships, and even Holland America ships can be a little bit larger. But once you start pushing into 3,500, 4,000, 5,000 people, I think they overwhelm the port. There's just too many people trying to get off the ship, trying to get on the ship. They seem to shorten up the port stays too. We have port stops of up to 15 hours on this particular itinerary. It's one of the reasons why we picked this itinerary. Typically, I don't like the round trip Seattle. Round trip Seattle is usually 7 days, and you kind of get cheated out of a port because they make that little 2 or 3 hour stop in Victoria, which is just a throwaway stop. I hate that. So typically we would book you round trip Vancouver or one way Vancouver to Alaska or the other way around. But this particular itinerary is 12 days round trip with 8 port stops. And then they have another itinerary that's 9 days with like 7 port stops or something like that. So with Oceania, there's an exception to that Seattle, like that round trip Seattle, that I really don't prefer them. With this particular cruise line and with the Azamara and people like that, maybe round trip Seattle works because there is extended time in the ports, which is so good. That calm vibe sounds so great. So happy you're having a good time. Thank you. Appreciate that. Jen, you would love to go to Alaska on the Coral Princess. She's such a fantastic, those two ships, Island and Coral, they are the smallest ones. They're among the oldest in the fleet. They're fantastic ships. Every single client that I've sent on those two particular ships come back and go, I wasn't sure if I was going to like it, but I loved it. There's just something, the crew is amazing. I think it's some of the best food in the Princess fleet, only because the ships are so small. They don't have to make food for quite so many people. So I think the experience on them is fantastic. The Royal class is still my favorite class of ship overall. Like Sky Princess is probably my favorite Princess ship overall, and then Coral Island after that. So yeah, the small ships are absolutely fantastic. Joe, Mother Nature never gets boring to look at, right? Right? I mean, look at this. How beautiful is that, right? Right? And go on over there. I can come on around over here. Look on past. I mean, if you take a bad picture in Alaska, people, you are working so hard at it. because it's really hard to take a bad picture in Alaska. Now, the only thing I don't have behind me are any snow-capped mountains. That would be nice. We've been passing a ton of snow-capped mountains, and it has been beautiful, but boy for them. Is that an eagle? Yeah, I think that's an eagle. I don't know if he's gonna fly past the camera or not. No, I think he turned. I think he saw me turn the camera up and said, nope, I don't want to be on camera. But yeah, Mother Nature is incredible. And it is amazing how, this morning, first time, I've been cruising 20 years, first time I've ever heard a foghorn. We were in bright sunshine, and in seconds, nothing. It was just complete fog for a good 10 minutes or so, and then boom, right out of the fog. But for that 10 minutes, I mean, we had the foghorn going. That's the first time I've ever heard the foghorn. I was sitting inside, I'm like, whoa, the horn's blowing, what's going on? And I looked outside, and Rebecca says she was standing out on our balcony and could not see the water. And we're on deck 7, so she couldn't see the water down below from our balcony. So that's how thick the fog. It was super, super thick. And I was like, wow, that's pretty cool. So, Eric, one of the most magnificent things you've ever seen in Alaska are the waterfalls coming off the mountains, right? You know, those glacial waterfalls are absolutely spectacular. One of the coolest things that I did, I don't even remember signing up for it. Yesterday I had an excursion, and when Rebecca showed it to me, I'm like, wait a minute, I didn't sign up for that. She said, yes, you did. I said, canoeing? I never sign up for canoeing. It's like just something I don't do. Canoeing, kayaking, I don't really do it. She's like, well, you signed up for it. And I'm really glad I went. So it was a 25-minute boat ride. And then it was about a quarter-mile hike to get down to where the canoes were. They were 10-person canoes. And we had to do it in 2 parts because the water was so low. There was a sandbar showing. So we canoed to the sandbar, went over the sandbar, took a second canoe to a delta, and then walked. We walked within a quarter mile of a glacier. We couldn't walk any further because they said there's actually pockets of quicksand if we went any further. But I've never walked up to a glacier before. All my glacial experiences have been on a boat. Like tomorrow, I'm doing another glacier experience in Wrangell. But it's always been on a boat. This time it was on land. We were just walking up to it. That was super cool. That was just amazing to do that. And I was like, oh, I'm so glad I signed up for it. I don't remember signing up for it, but I'm so glad I did because it was super cool. It was a lot of fun. So, wow, 14 times to Alaska. Oh, hey, Foray, how are you? Good to see you. I'll tell you what, so Foray right here, he has some of the most spectacular photographs I have ever seen from Alaska. Dude, some of your pictures of the bears and whatnot, oh my God. Your photographs are absolutely phenomenal. Mine don't hold a candle to what you're able to do up here. But it's good to see you, my friend. Thanks so much for popping in. I really appreciate it. Foray and I used to work together in another lifetime back in Atlanta. But it's really good to see you. Thanks for popping in, my friend. But no, the pleasure is all mine, Foray. Absolutely stunning photography. I don't know how you do it. Well, I do know how you do it because you're really good at what you do. So, but thanks for popping in. But yeah, man, you know what, Foray? You should lead a photography group on one of these things. I should have you come along and lead a photography group on one of these cruises. Maybe in 27 when we come back up in 27. You never know. You might like Explorer Journeys if we end up doing that one. Yeah. So. But yeah, Eric, you were talking about those waterfalls up there. Yeah, we've had quite a few of those along the way. And, it's just kind of cool because you think it's just a little strip of white. And then as you get by it, you realize there's actually water running on down. And that's where that zoom lens has been so nice for me. Like if I'm not sure what I'm looking at, I can pop on that zoom lens and take a look. I'll tell you what I'm looking at right now out here with all these little islands. It reminds me of the St. Lawrence River where we used to go fishing every year. It kind of Thousand Islands a little bit. It's really, really lovely out here. So, but yeah, somebody was commenting last night. They're like, on a normal On a normal cruise, we'd all be getting ready to go home last night because it was the 6th night going into the 7th day. And we're staying on. And they're like, this is really nice to know that we're still on here for another 5 days. So Eric's saying you would take a photography cruise to Alaska. You never know. We might have to invite Foray, see if we can get him on a cruise ship. I don't think he's ever been on a cruise ship, so maybe we'll have to try to get him on. Annette, you've enjoyed seeing all the photos on Facebook. Thank you. Thank you. For those of you who are watching and are not in our group, we have a private Facebook group, Where's Walter Travel. I have a public page and I have a private group. What I love about the private group is everybody shares things in there, so it's not just me. In fact, our good friends, the Cruising Colemans, are sharing a spectacular cruise in there right now from Croatia. They're on a little, 20-person boat, 34-person boat out there, and I can say it's a boat, it's a yacht. It's absolutely gorgeous. So that's really cool that they're sharing all of that. So, hey, Becky, how are you? Becky, are you coming to Alaska, or you already did? I know you were doing Alaska, or you're coming up soon. Oh, hey, float plane coming in. There he goes. I got a really cool takeoff of one of those float planes just a little while ago, literally right next to the ship. Oh, I think he's landing. I think it's the same guy. Let's see. Where is he? There he is. Oh yeah, this is the guy. He's coming in for a landing. His dock is literally right next to the ship. I don't know how well y'all can see it, but how about that? I planned that just for you. I had no idea that was going to happen, but that's cool. That's very, very cool. You were on the Coral Princess in May. That's right. Yeah, I couldn't remember. So you were on one of my favorite ships, Becky. Yeah. But yeah, wasn't that cool, Mimi? I've been watching that guy go back and forth. I think he's been giving tours, but then two, it looks like I saw a whole family come in with a dog and all these bags and stuff, so it looks like he's flying people around. Something like 1 in 3 adults in Alaska have a pilot's license because, obviously you need to have a pilot's license up here because the distances are so great. So SL, the short stops in Victoria seem a shame. They are. You understand why they happen. You've noticed that sometimes those few hours are not really within the usual business hours. They never are. So folks are not able to see much. Most of them are between, say, 9 p.m. and midnight. And it's actually 11:59, so they don't cross over into the next day. It's just a whole dollars and cents thing that they don't want to be over. That's one of the tour boats going back home. So it's a total. So what it ends up being is you get 2 sea days. You get the 1 sea day that needs to get you to where you're going, and then you have a 2nd sea day because Victoria. I mean, there are some people who are open near the docks just for the cruise ship, but you can't go to Bouchard Gardens, you can't do an afternoon tea, you can't do anything. I thought he was coming back out. I thought I heard him coming back out. So I hate that. That's what I really hate about those Seattle round trip cruises is that wasted stop. Now, there's no reason that they can't get there sooner and give you like 6 hours or 7 hours, or maybe you could actually go off and do something. When we go to Victoria, that's going to be our very last stop. We're going to have 12 hours. It's going to be either 10 a.m. to 10 p.m. or 11 a.m. to 11 p.m. So we can actually have dinner out in Victoria if we wanted to. And so that's going to be, that's the last day of the cruise. And then we go back to Seattle. So if they can do it, anybody can do it, so it's really, really cool. Cindy, you booked a seaplane tour for your 2026 Alaska cruise. Awesome. That was eagles chattering just before the plane. Oh, that's good ears. Good ears, yeah. You also had a great time with Harv and Marv. Yes, yes, Harv and Marv. We did the whale watching with them. The whales were kind of far from us, but that's just kind of the luck of the draw. You know, they ended up being closer to other boats. You know, they have to stay within. They have to stay no closer than 100 yards. That's the rules that they operate under. All of those whale watching tour boats now operate under the rules of no closer than 100 yards, unless the whale pops up next to you. Now, if the whale pops up next to you and is closer than 100 yards, they have to kill the engine and just stop and just float. They can't maneuver at all, just on the off chance that they might, you know, run into the whale, damage the whale, or something like that. So they were a little bit far from us, but at least I did have that zoom lens. I got a couple of nice photos of them. But Harv and Marv, anybody going to Juneau, Harv and Marv is great. I did find out that Harv and Marv sold it. They don't own it anymore. So it's a new company. But this new company that's running it seems to be doing a great job, because everybody I sent to them says it's great. So Eric, on your upcoming 10-day round trip from Seattle, 9 a.m. till 11 p.m. in Victoria. Oh, 9 a.m. till 11 p.m. That's great. That's absolutely fantastic. So you're actually going to have time to go off and do some stuff like we will. Hey, Nurse Tara, how are you? Hi, what do you like and dislike about your cabin? Are you aft? Great question. So no, for this particular cruise, we're all the way in the front. We are like 5 cabins or 4 cabins from the very, very front of the ship. It's very different for us. But on the design of this particular ship, if you go look at the Oceania Riviera deck plan right now and look at cabin 7008 and the ones in front of it, you'll notice that the balcony is extended. It's a longer balcony, and the one that we picked, 7008, is the last one. So we've got that kick-out balcony so we can look down the entire distance of the ship. Plus I can look around to the front. So I've got a really nice 180-degree looking all around, and I can step out further. I can see more. Like my neighbor's like, I can't see. Well, and I can walk out about another, I don't know, 6-7 feet from where he is. And so that's what I absolutely love about it is that balcony is extended, so we can go out for the way that they just renovated this entire ship like a year and a half ago. So the rooms are all basically brand new. The room's beautiful. The bathroom is beautiful. What do I not like so far? There's nothing that I dislike the cabin. What I will say is that the food in the main dining room and the buffet, except for last night, so they did this marketplace dinner the last 2 nights that have been phenomenal. But it feels like it's just a slight notch below what the Oceania Sirena was. I felt like the culinary experience on the Sirena in the main dining room and the buffet were better. However, the specialty dining is totally on point, and tonight for the first time we're going to Jacques Pepin's restaurant, Jacques, and everybody who has gone to it is like, oh my God, it's the best restaurant on the ship. So I'm really looking forward to tonight and seeing that. So, but typically we don't stay in the front. Typically we do stay in the back. And there are some of those cabins in the back as well. On deck 7, it's only on deck 7. They extend out most of and we're in a concierge room. So we've got a concierge lounge. We've got a concierge we can talk to. Most of those concierge staterooms are actually on deck 9, which is where the lounge is. And then the ones on deck 7 with the extended balconies are also considered in the concierge class. So we always look for what I call the kick out. If there's a balcony that extends out from the ship and it gives you more of an unobstructed view, especially like me, I like to take videos, like take photographs. It's much easier when you're out there with an unobstructed view than being, you know, right in a row of balconies and staterooms and things like that. So I always look for those. There's really nothing that I dislike about. Oh well, okay. There's one thing. The way the cabinet is the cabinet is set up, or the closet. Why can't I think of closet? But the way the closet is set up, the right-hand door is right up against the nightstand on one side of the bed, and when you swing that door open, it's kind of hard to get at the stuff that's in that side of it. That's a minor thing. That's really the only thing I dislike about the room. I also wish there was a regular chair for the desk. So when I'm sitting down, they had this, multi-use chair thingy. And when you sit down, you feel like a kindergartner. Like I'm trying to work on the computer and my hands are like way up too high. So that's kind of silly. But other than that, I mean, that's just minor. That's just minor things. So Nurse Tara, is there still lobster and steak every day? Lobster burger like the last time. So out at the Waves Grill, yes, they're still making that surf and turf burger every single day. What has changed is in the buffet, they don't have lobster every single day like they have in the past. They still have the steak and the lamb, but they kind of change things around a little bit. They will do lobster once or twice during a cruise now. But it used to be literally every single day. You can get shrimp, you get lobster, you get steak, you get lamb chops, you get da-da-da-da-da. They still have a lot of things that they make here. But out at the Waves Grill, which is the pool grill, oh, and on this ship they added pizza. They make pizza in the evenings only, and it is really good pizza. So if you want that surf and turf burger with the lobster, you go and get that over at the Waves Grill. I haven't had one yet. I have had one of the burgers. They're really good. I have had actually two of the pizzas now. Really, really good. So, hey, Aaron, how are you? Yes, we are having a great time. A great time. I mean, how can you not be having a good time? I mean, I'm freaking in Alaska right now. It's absolutely beautiful. I'm not sweating my butt off in Florida, which we will be again soon. And thank you to all my clients who have been so patient, because I'm 4 hours behind Eastern time, so it's kind of thrown off like my whole schedule. And like I know that Facebook was saying this was supposed to be at 5 p.m. Eastern time. It's actually 5 p.m. Alaska time. But no, we're having an absolutely fabulous time. Ironically, I've actually been booking and planning Alaska cruises while we've been on here. I think I've kind of inspired some of you guys to say, oh yeah, okay, let's go to Alaska. Let's go do this. And you really should. You really should do Alaska. Let's see, let's go, yeah. No, that's not the volcano. Where's the volcano? I've lost the volcano. There's a volcano out here somewhere that is starting to wake up. Somewhere out here, there is a volcano. The bus driver was telling us about that on the way back, that there is a volcano starting to wake up. It's 2 o'clock UK time. Why are you up, SL? You're like me. I mean, I usually work until about 11 p.m. midnight, and then I just stay up watching TV for a bit. Here, we go to sleep at about 10 or 11 o'clock, but we've been waking up at around 4, which is 7 o'clock Eastern time. Actually, it's 8 o'clock Eastern time. And it's just been very difficult. So, both of us are walking around very tired in the morning. Fortunately, all the coffee is included, and there's 24/7 coffee here. So, really nice coffee machines. So that's how I've been getting through. The good news is, by waking up at 4 or 5:30 in the morning, I can get about 3 hours of work done before we go off and do our excursion, because every time we're doing something here, like we're off the ship for a good 5, 6, 7 hours. Today in Sitka was probably our shortest one, where we left the ship at 12 o'clock and we were back on the ship by 4:30. That's like the shortest day that we've had so far since we've been on the ship. But most of our days have been much, much longer. This was, let's see, when did the ship get here? The ship got here at 11, and we're tied up until 7:30. So this is another good long stop for everybody. You could easily have dinner downtown if you wanted. Man, there's so many good places to eat in Sitka. Holy crap. I was blown away. Highly recommend the food tour. The food tour that we did was actually through Oceania. It's a great local guide. But man, do a food tour of Sitka. You will be blown away at the amount of great food. And a lot of it is in food trucks. Really cool. Where are we headed next? We're going to Wrangell. We've never been to Wrangell. I am doing some sort of a speedboat to a glacier. I know that. And I can't remember what Rebecca's doing. Rebecca's doing something else. But tomorrow is an up close and personal look at a glacier, I believe. Oh, which reminds me, if you're going to Hubbard Glacier, you will probably have the opportunity to book a catamaran, which will literally take you like as close as you can get to that glacier. I want to say, so some of my guests did it. I wish we'd have done it, but it looked like they were less than 50 feet from the glacier. They were like right up there, and they said, we can't get any closer because there's something calves, so we can't be too close. But they were within like 50 to 100 feet of Hubbard Glacier, and my God, the photos that they just took with their phones spectacular. So if you're coming to Hubbard Glacier, it is one of the most expensive excursions. It's even more expensive than some of the helicopter tours. But oh my God, and they said it was a once in a lifetime experience. They actually scooped up a piece of ice, from the glaciers that they could take pictures with and stuff like that. But yeah, after I saw their pictures, I was like, oh my God, I'm so jealous. I wish I would have done that. But you don't dock or anything. The catamaran just pulls right up like where the tenders, where you would load up for a tender. And you just hop on the catamaran. And it was pretty cool because I lost sight of them, and then I was zoomed in on the glacier, and there they were. They were this little bitty boat right up against the glacier. So if any of y'all come into Hubbard Glacier and you got an opportunity to go do that catamaran, oh my God, that looked absolutely spectacular. Absolutely spectacular. So I do that next time I come. I want to do a float plane the next time I come. We did not schedule a float plane. I would really like to do one of those. So yeah. Does the cruise line have any special plans for the 4th of July? Well, we're going to be in Wrangell. So I don't, it's hard to shoot fireworks off here because you can see how bright it is right now. So at 10 o'clock tonight, it's pretty much going to look just like this. They can't shoot off the fireworks until about midnight, just because it's not dark enough yet. So I don't know. I don't know if Wrangell is shooting off fireworks, and I don't know if the ship is going to put itself in position, kind of like what happened on New Year's Eve. We were on Azamara for New Year's Eve, and we were in Barbados, and they positioned the ship. There was a hotel that did, it wasn't a great fireworks show, but it was a fireworks show. And so they positioned us, in position where we could watch it, and that was cool. So I don't know. I don't know if we're going to sit around and wait, because it would have to be like 11 p.m. midnight before they can shoot them off, because it really does not get that much darker than this. So what is it? It's 5:45. The sun is still sitting way up high in the clouds there somewhere. So yeah, we don't know of anything special that they're doing. Obviously, they're not going to shoot off anything here on the ship. But yeah, I don't know. We're going to find out tomorrow. But I know I'm going off and doing some excursions in the morning, so I'm very excited about that. Apparently there are some parades and stuff going on in Wrangell, so you never know. We might just hang out with the locals and go watch the parades. See if maybe there's some blueberry pie festivals or something like that. Go eat some blueberry pie, you never know. Great going somewhere that leaves you with loads of reason to return. I'll tell you what, yeah, Alaska is that sort of a destination. And now that all these other little ports are opening up, one of the great reasons to get on the smaller ships, you get to go to Haines, you get to go to Sitka, you get to go to Wrangell, you go to Klawak, you go to Icy Strait, although Icy Strait Point can take a big ship. But when you're on the big ships, just like the Caribbean, there's only so many places you can go. And I hear people saying, God, I wish, Royal Caribbean would go here, and I wish, Norwegian would go there. And it's because they keep going on the big 4,000, 5,000, 7,000 passenger ships. Royal Caribbean does go to smaller areas because they have smaller ships that go there. You just have to be willing to go on the smaller ship to get to some of these places. If you keep going on the big, 4,000, 5,000, 6,000 passenger ships, there's only so many places you can go. There's only so many places that will take you. And that's just the way it is. So yeah, the cruise lines are going to these places. They just may not be going on the ships that you want to go on. And if you don't want to go on those ships, then find another ship like the Oceania Riviera. Now this ship goes all over the world. It's pretty spectacular where this ship goes. It's not like a ship that, I'm going to go do the Caribbean and then I'm going to do Alaska. I'm going to do the Caribbean, I'm going to do Alaska. No, she's in the Mediterranean. She's done up in Norway. She's been all over the place. So it's kind of neat to be on a ship that goes all over. But SL is absolutely right. There's a lot more to Alaska than just Juneau, Ketchikan, and Skagway. There is a lot more to Alaska. And if you've done the Juneau, Skagway, Ketchikan, well, then you should start expanding your horizon. Yes, you're probably going to go back to one or two of those. We did Juneau, Ketchikan, and we were supposed to do Skagway originally. I'm actually glad that they changed it to Haines. Haines is basically just across the bay from Skagway. In fact, there's a high-speed ferry that gets you between the two in about 40 minutes. So if you're going to Haines and you really want to do the White Patch Railway, you can do it just by hopping on that high-speed ferry. You go on over to Skagway, and you can do it, and you come flying back as long as you got the time. A couple of our guests did that. 4 of our guests Two of our guests went on the train. Two of our guests did a bus trip by going over to Skagway. But I like going into Haines. Is just a sleepy Alaska town. There's nothing touristy about it whatsoever. The only thing touristy was the fact that they had a little shuttle bus that would run us from the ship into downtown, which was only a 10-minute walk from the ship anyway. So, but that's really the only touristy thing about that town. So I really liked going into Haines because it was just so cool. It was so small. And I got to see the building where they filmed Dr. Oakley, Yukon vet, for like the last 5 seasons or so. It's a very distinctive building. It is not her office. They clearly just used it for the TV show. But it was kind of neat to see the building. We could see it clearly when we first came in. So, I got to take my little fan photo in front of it, even though I know she's not there. So that was kind of fun. But yeah, it's just cool to see new places that we've never been to. We've been cruising for 20 years, so, we got to start finding some new places. We got to go to Norway. We're going to Italy next year. We're going to Hawaii next year. We're finally going to do Canada, New England in October. We invite you to come along with us. If you guys want to come along and cruise with us, our guests have had the most pleasant and heartwarming things to say about this particular cruise, and they've really enjoyed being with us, spending time with us just as much as we've enjoyed spending time with them. Oh my God, Christy and Ken have been absolutely hilarious. They're just so much fun. And let's see, we got Mike and Dusty we've been hanging out with, and Terry and now I'm blanking on his wife. But anyway, we got 36 folks on here, and it's just so much fun to finally meet y'all and see y'all and actually spend time with you all. So if you want to come with us, the Canada New England cruise is in October, the Hawaii cruise is in February, and the Italy cruise is in October of next year. Those are the ones that we have announced right now, and I can tell you that the next one that's coming will be a Christmas Markets 2027 that will either be on Ama waterways or Avalon waterways, one or the other. We're just waiting for the itineraries to drop, and then we're going to go ahead and book that. And like I said, maybe Alaska in 2027. Don't know. We might come back to Alaska. People have been having a really good time, and Explora will be here in 2027. I saw a video today, Cruise Mummy from over in Europe. She just got done with Explorer, and she's like, I think I found my favorite cruise line. And that's what happened to me when I got on that ship as well. Love my Oceania. Absolutely having a great time on this ship, but of course there is just another level to going up to Explorer as well. So, but this has been a fabulous voyage. I'm just so happy that the weather has changed. It was brutal in Ketchikan the first day. Oh my God, there was so much rain. In fact, our first sea day, we had so much rain at sea. And then in Ketchikan, I mean, it was just coming down buckets. Thankfully, we went to the Lumberjack show, so we were undercover. So that was perfect, being undercover. I felt bad for the Lumberjacks because they were actually doing the show in the rain, but they didn't seem to care. And then Juneau was rainy in the morning, but luckily, when we got out for our whale watching, it stopped raining. It was beautiful, so we could really enjoy the whale watching. We didn't have to keep ducking in and out of the rain. And then it has progressively gotten better. Hubbard Glacier was spectacular. It was so beautiful, sunshine. I can't wait to show off some of the photos with that. I'll probably do that even on TikTok to show you guys some of the photos on that. Yeah, so let's see. I'm going to go for about another 10 minutes or so. So if you guys got questions, I'll stay here till the top of the hour. And then I actually have to, well, I don't really have to get ready for dinner. You know what I have to do? I need to go get a drink. We always talk about old fashions. So it's not an old fashioned. I forget what they call it. They call it a chai something or other. But it's made with bourbon. It's basically an old fashioned, but it's got cinnamon. It's got some chai cinnamon added to it. And then they smoke it. They smoke it. And typically I don't smoke drinks. I'm like, yeah, whatever. The guy on Explorer Journey just blew me away with that smoked drink. But this one actually does work. They infuse it very nicely. So, it was absolutely delicious. And so that's been my drink on here. It's not called an old fashioned. It's a chai something, chai fashion. I have to take a picture of it. Do that. Oh, hey, Nurse Tara, you're on your way to work. Have a great evening at work. Thanks so much for popping in. I really do appreciate it. I appreciate all y'all popping in. It's hard to schedule things when the times are so wackadoodle. And I tried to set it all up, but the times are so wackadoodle. I tried to get you all right. I tried to say that it was going to be at 9 p. Eastern time. I guess I should put it in the title next time that it's going to be at 9 p. Eastern time. Oh, excuse me. Yes, I got so rained on. I think that's why I'm getting sick. I got a little bit of a cold going on. And I think it's just because I got so rained on those first 2 days. But I've been taking my medicine. I've been taking my emergency, drinking water, drinking tea. I found the best hot chocolate on the ship. So, oh, and I had a killer. Where did I have that hot chocolate? Haynes. Ooh, man, I had a really good hot chocolate in Haynes. It was great. Been trying out all the little coffee shops. So, happy belated Canada Day. They had a whole Canada Day gathering downstairs. I was walking through Martinis, and there were all these red and white balloons, and right on it was like Canada Day gathering. And I'm like, oh, that's kind of fun. So they did recognize everything on here. But yeah, I really don't know what we're going to do tomorrow. It'll be interesting to find out. One thing that Oceania does not have is an app. So we get to print a schedule every night. So I'll find out tonight if there's anything planned for tomorrow, and if there's any intention of parking outside a fireworks show. Now again, it's going to be late, very late at night if we do get to see a fireworks show, because this is pretty much what it looks like at 10 o'clock at night. So they got to wait till closer to midnight to do that. Rebecca is actually napping right now. She needed to make sure that she napped so she would be awake for dinner. Again, we got up around 4:30. We keep waking up, actually late for East Coast time. We're usually up by 7 a.m. East Coast time, between 6 and 7 a.m. East Coast time. And, we've been waking up early on East Coast time. And it's like, even if I stay up till like midnight, I'm waking up at 4:30, 5 o'clock. It's like, I just can't sleep. My body clock just will not let me sleep. So she's been doing the same. So she's been taking naps in the afternoon to relax. I just kind of keep myself going with coffee. Happy 4th, Rick. Happy 4th, everybody. Yeah, we'll see what happens tomorrow. I mean, I'm looking forward to it. I'm doing some sort of a Glacier experience tomorrow. So it'll be great. Yes, I saw that, Alex. I think he's going on. Don has an Alaska group going out, and I'm assuming either he had an extra space or something. But I love it when Tony and Don get together, especially when they go off and do excursions. So yeah, if you haven't seen it, what Alex is talking about, Tony at La Lita Loca just suddenly last minute is jumping onto Don's group cruise in Alaska. And that's always fun when the two of them get together. I can take Don in small doses. I love Don. I think Don is fabulous. But I can only take him in small doses because he's always got that angry man thing going on. It's just, he cracks me up. But the two of them together are just gold. When they go off and they go do their excursion together, they are gold. So yeah, I'm really looking forward to seeing what those two end up doing. Yeah, we probably will. I didn't exactly see which ship he's on. Let's see, what is today? So today is Thursday. So he's probably getting on a ship Friday or Saturday. And we may cross paths, I don't know. We're kind of swinging a different way. We're going to be kind of away from Juneau and Ketchikan and all that stuff. But I'm pretty sure it's a princess cruise. I'm all but certain it's a princess cruise. Don had to cancel. Oh no. Oh, so is Tony hosting it now? Is that what's going on? I didn't hear the whole story. I just saw that he was suddenly going to Alaska. Oh, Don had to cancel. Oh, that's a shame. That's a shame. He put all that work into it. So Tony is going in his place. Well, that's a nice thing for Tony to do. Tony is such a great guy. I'm so blessed and thankful that we get to work with him. And Jenny. Jenny has been a huge help, a huge inspiration for me. I still can't believe that they actually wanted to partner with me. It's a great honor for us to do that. They're just two of the best people out there at what they do. And if you guys haven't heard the news, I'm going on Star of the Seas with Stephanie. The amazing Stephanie Mullen. That is going to be so much fun. Wow. Well, that's about as close as you're going to get, folks. Dang. That was a hawk. The hawk coming. It was either a hawk or a juvenile eagle. Wow. He was like right there. But yeah, so I'm going on the Star of the Seas with the amazing Stephanie. We bid on an upgrade and we got it. We're going to be in a surfside balcony. This should be absolutely hilarious. She is so good. She is so excited about being in the surfside area because that's where the lemon drop bar is with all of those sugary drinks that she loves so much. Plus we've got all the comfort foods and surfside bites made for children, but you know, we're adults and we love all that little comfort food. So we're going to have so much fun. It's going to be weird going on a ship without Rebecca. I did it before. I kind of had my own room and Stephanie had her own room on the Margaritaville, but this time we're actually going to room together. So that's going to be a little bit weird, but I love Stephanie and I just can't, it's going to be so much fun. Y'all going to be so much fun. So, hey, hey, Carol, thanks so much for tuning in. Yes, we're having a great time. SL, thank you. Yeah, hey, it's a live work. We only fell apart, what, twice? So, yes, vinegar. How many more days are we on board? I think we have 5 more days. We have 5 more days or maybe 4 more days. I don't know. I can't keep, it's 12 days total. It's 12 days total. So this is day 7, 5 more days, which includes, you know, getting off the ship in Seattle. So, yes, Rick, it is nice to see that Tony has Don's back. So guys, I'm going to wrap this up. I've been going for about an hour. I'm actually shocked at how well this worked. And we will probably do another TikTok live. YouTube is the one that gets squirrely on me, but we'll probably do another TikTok live. I didn't bring my camera. That's why we're not doing both at the same time. Well, I can only do one or the other. So I wanted to see if I could do this Thursday night thing. So I hope you enjoyed the views of Alaska. It's absolutely gorgeous out there. But yeah, I'm going to go ahead and wrap this up. If you guys have any questions or we can help book your Alaska journey or any journey out there, certainly do reach out to us. where'swaltertravel.com. Go to the Contact Us page. You're going to see there's 2 people there now. There's myself, there's Corey. Pretty soon you're going to see 3 people there. We've got yet another associate coming on. A lot of exciting things happening at Where's Walter Travel. Y'all have been so amazing. We have been growing, and it's all because of you. So y'all are absolutely amazing. Kenneth, there's the last question of the evening. We are on the Oceania Riviera. The Oceania Riviera. So guys, thank you so much for joining me for the past hour. And I will leave you with a look at the beautiful scenery here in Sitka, while I go ahead and turn off the live stream. So have a great evening, everybody. Thanks again for tuning in.